been made in Canadian basketball.
One hand down, all over the defense.
One-hand cockback.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet, putting a man in the rim.
Ain't that awesome? Oh my Lord!
Welcome to the NPA on NPH.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Georges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in, no good. 2 seconds to go. Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly.
Exposure.
We're underway. Central Tech, B.E.A.S.T. Well, that didn't take long. B.E.A.S.T. opens the scoring. Central Tech undefeated on their NPA season, but big time loss in this game. Just got word. An injury to the muscle under the arm. Another jump. B.E.A.S.T. trying to jump out. This is their second game of the day. Sorry, Raheem Sullivan out probably for upwards of 4 weeks, which means he should be okay for nationals, but not in the lineup for Central Tech right now. Won't be here tomorrow as they take on CTA. Big time loss as I introduce Daniele Franceschi. We know Central Tech is all about, run and gun, and we know how big of a deal it is to lose a guy like Raheem Sullivan, Daniele.
A huge loss for Kevin Jeffers and his team. And obviously, when you lose your point guard, anytime you lose your point guard, and that's essentially we can equate that to a quarterback in football, somebody who's at the helm and making decisions for your team. Raheem Sullivan, and it's unfortunate. I think we spoke about it yesterday with how they kind of circled that one on the calendar tomorrow as that being a significant game for them. And knowing they're not going to have Raheem Sullivan, that's unfortunate. And obviously with no Matthew Daves as well and DeAndre Reed, that also hurts.
But the one thing you can say about the Central Tech squad, the next man up mentality is strong with this team. Tough move from the big man. I got a little answer to our question yesterday of what were we seeing from Anthony Bradshaw and his point guard mentality at times. A former point guard who added probably about 5 inches and 45 pounds over the last 3 or 4 years. This is a point guard at heart. And I was honest with him. I said, well, we were kind of wondering about the dribble moves from the 3-point line, and it kind of caught us off guard. And he said, yeah, I think I drive my coach a little nuts sometimes too. He just said he's comfortable doing that, even though sometimes he knows maybe it's not the best thing for his team and it's something he's trying to work out of his game.
It's interesting you mentioned that, and it's a good side note because I think on the surface you watch him, as we did yesterday, and you wouldn't have been able to identify, you'd kind of scratch your head a little bit, but it's good to see a guy like that. And I guess he's trying to make a transition. His game is evolving in so many different ways, and you put it into context, getting that background information and understanding where he's coming from.
It's the old Anthony Davis growth spurt, I guess. Yeah, first time I saw Anthony Davis, 2010 McDonald's All-American game in Chicago. I was down there covering the Canadians, Ken Birch and Mike Kabongo, and Kyle Wilcher was in that game too. But yeah, that was the first time I saw Anthony Davis, and he had just finished his 8-inch growth spurt over the summer, and he was out here pulling these point guard moves, and everyone was going, who is this guy? Sure enough, 5 years later, he's one of the best players in the game.
Nice rebound.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. B.E.A.S.T's second game, stepping in to take the game when BC Christian couldn't make it through this -40 weather from Seattle, where they're flying out of, as Javon Davis takes the hoop. This B.E.A.S.T team will play absolutely anybody. And here they are taking on Central Tech in their final game of this session. B.E.A.S.T already won handily this morning.
Yes, they did. It was a good performance, actually. In fact, they got a lot of production from, the likes of Matt Green, Dylan Nelson, Bradshaw. It was a very well-rounded effort.
So this is actually
able to knock off Halifax Prep.
I saw you searching there. There's been a lot of games, Daniele. Ooh, nice little cross from Adebaboye. Jaron Jones, no good. Again, Jones taking it at the rim.
An interesting side note about Jaron Jones, younger brother of Jamal Jones. You may remember Jamal.
Ryerson?
Absolutely, Ryerson University, point guard. Spent 4 or 5 years there. And his career culminated with the first ever medal for the men's basketball program at the national championship back in 2014, excuse me.
I was about to say 2004.
Dating him a little bit.
Those are my days.
He's still playing currently overseas.
Yeah, I thought so. As we can continue to see that U Sports to professional rank transition getting stronger and stronger. As strong as that move by Javon Davis, who's been an interesting fellow to watch over this session. Has struggled some games, let frustration get the better of him, and then, other times we've seen a lot of promise out of him with that, very strong stature about him.
It was a good, strong, aggressive move and decisive, able to draw contact, good body control, nice finish.
Davis up top, Bradshaw. A lot of perimeter work here from B.E.A.S.T. Bradshaw again, nice find. That point guard passing. As Prosper Laboye Moriarty the basket. And Naz Roberts, Eugene Cancu. Just trying to get my Naz Roberts in after the freight train finish, as you so mentioned yesterday. Naz Roberts giving us our first poster of the tournament. This is our 5th and final game of the day. We just watched CTA beat LBA in a spirited matchup. Had a little chat with the guys afterwards. LBA excited about this session setup because they can have an opportunity to come back from that loss tomorrow. Talk about a murderer's row. They got GTA Prep tomorrow.
Angelo Provenzano doing a good job with that LBA team, and you can't be too disappointed, obviously, going up against a team that's undefeated, but they had him on the ropes. They had him on the ropes, especially early on, and
we were talking about how do we get, how do you beat CTA? What do you think about the big lineup thrown out right at the beginning with Jonty Vink, Josh Nkumsa, and Kerr Jakouche?
That was the first thing that jumped out at me, and seeing them walk on the floor, and then that puts a lot of pressure, conversely, on Denzel Cummins and Okai Jamjus. And both of them I thought struggled mightily from a good portion of the game, and then Denzel came alive towards the end. But you think about it, I guess in theory, if you got a little more production from your backcourt, because Nkumsa was gone, that's one thing. He was going good early, and that gave him a huge lift. They were up by 5 at one point, and it looked promising.
Central Tech out to a 7-point lead. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back after a short break midway through the first of our 5th and final game of day 3.
Keep it going. Keep the intensity high.
Get your feet square. Get your feet square. Take it home, write it down, grab a homie, and work on it. Work on it, master it.
AJ Lawson, go! He gets it to go! Wow. Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10.
Two-way players are the best players. Understand that? Two-way players are the best players.
Here's Sabri Phillip, two-hand jam!
Let's go, boy!
It doesn't matter from what city you're from, how tall you are, what school, what club you represent, game speaks. There's no politics here.
We've traveled across the country and back. 6 years running. Canada's basketball talent blossoms right before our eyes. From coast to...
B.E.A.S.T Prep stuck 7 right now with the ball inbounding on the baseline. Central Tech will have a tough matchup tomorrow against CTA, especially without Raheem Sullivan. Gonna guess we'll see DeAndre Reed back for that one. But Kevin Jeffers has that mentality, next man up. That's why he's had a tight roster all season long, even when we did allow teams to expand their roster. Foul on the baseline there. Talking to B.E.A.S.T Prep guys before the game, it was curious to talk about them because a first-year program, some of these guys are seniors, so they're only going to be here for 1 year, and about the challenges that they face. And one of them was in the early going, they were all playing incredibly selfish, and I think it was a 40-plus point loss to CTA in Ottawa that forced them to come together in a meeting, and they just kind of said, listen, if we keep playing this way, we're just going to get blown out every game. And they've been able to turn things around since then, and now they're at the point where they're all trying to kind of fit into the game plan that they have set out by head coach Greg Robitaille. So we're kind of watching the work in progress right now.
They made a decision, and you see it. There's still been a lot of growth that they've experienced, even over the course of this week. Our first game, we saw them just look like a team that was mentally, emotionally defeated. They come back and completely different, kind of like they just flipped a switch.
Talking to Elias beforehand, we were curious. He brought it up, I didn't really think about it. And, we see these guards and Dylan Nelson and Matt Green can definitely score the ball, but Elias questioned, how do they defend that position? Kind of, thicker point guards. And we were worried, with Raheem Sullivan teaming up against Raheem, that obviously won't be a problem now, but going forward, how do they defend that position?
Well, I think the fact that they're playing zone and there's not a top flight point guard on the floor still, it's indicative of that concern, I guess. It's problematic for them.
That's why you're here for the analysts. Analysis as an analyst. There we go, got stuck between the two. Curious to see if Victor Yor gets into this game, and when he does, he was another guy I talked to and picked up the game 1.5 years ago. Victor Yor out of Nigeria, played soccer, and came over here, and former high school coach saw him just kind of dribbling the ball one day and was like, hey, you should try basketball out, and wasn't overly interested in it, and went to the Y to get his workout in, and shot around a little bit where Greg Robitaille saw him and said, well, let's get you into one of our scrimmages, see how you do. Wasn't quite ready for it yet, so played at a local high school, and then 1.5 years later, this summer, he was ready to go. And a very intelligent young man, an engineering background, a family of engineers in Nigeria, and it was really interesting to talk to him about thinking the game and how he's trying to see how he can be of use. And yeah, you never know with these kids what you're going to get when you talk to him, and it was really curious to see his eyes kind of light up when he talked about what he could do with the game by using his soccer skills. And here is Victor Yor checking into the game, number 8 for Beast Prep. And one of the things I thought most interesting, and he didn't mean it as an insulting way, but he talks to a lot of people, and I'm like, yeah, playing basketball since the age of 5, and he's like, man, if I had been playing basketball since the age of 5, who knows where I would be right now? As he says, once he threw down his first dunk, he started dunking all the time and then came up with a bit of a knee injury and realized, he's got to be a little bit smarter about it. You can't just be throwing everything down, and that's where he's at right now, trying to expand the game and learn the game at the same time because he's running out of time, right? Getting up there in age.
His story, I think, just in and of itself is impressive enough. So whatever you can get out of it, I think you take away whatever it can be. And it's funny because I thought he was, we saw him earlier today, and I thought he was very impressive and, did a good job. It's the rotation, it seems like, with the, in that front court has been Victor Yor, and along with him, you have, of course, Anthony Bradshaw. It's been those two guys kind of interchangeable in many ways, and we've seen Tyrese Todd also get into the mix. But I thought he comes into the game and he just provides a little extra muscle and energy especially on the interior and on the defensive end.
Yor. If they're looking for some possible blood. Yeah, with big men, Yor, I think he's 6'8", 6'9".
Listed at 6'6", actually, oddly enough.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So is that what they're doing? They're making the big guys look smaller so they can just play more positions?
That was going to be my first thing to point out, was that there's no way he's 6'6".
6'6", 2 guard. Not really. Jaron Jones stealing basket. But yeah, just looking at him run, with those big men, you always try to see their running style. And you can tell the soccer background. He runs well. Not all over the place. There is Yor, dribbling it off the defender and out of bounds.
And there, catch it already, deep post position. His first instinct to put it on the floor. And I'd like to see him maybe just take a second or two and be patient and kind of survey what's going on around him. That's part of the learning curve.
But there's so many stories like that now, guys even in the NBA who picked up the game late, right?
Joel Embiid being one of those.
Yeah.
And those guys, I guess, if you look at Embiid, he's got obviously a great personality, and he's a charismatic, humorous kind of guy. He likes to joke around and it's comical, but he was, I think his story, he was probably 14, 15 years old when he first started playing.
Yeah.
And he was playing junior varsity in the 11th grade, which I don't know how that's possible. But as a guy coming over from a foreign country, he was playing, and never at any point, even when he went to Kansas, he didn't even believe that he would, be a top 3 pick and, end up, as now what we see is a guy who's got the skill set of being an NBA All-Star caliber great player.
It really explains why he's so lighthearted and loves Twitter and stuff like that. I love the basketball lifers, but man, there's definitely a space there for guys who don't take it too seriously. Of course, they take it seriously when they're on the floor, but just don't take life seriously. Trying to enjoy their time here as much as they can and try to allow the game of basketball taking places they never thought they'd go, right? Way out of the reach of Yor. This is what we're seeing with B.E.A.S.T when they get out of whack. It's not pretty.
Be interesting on the Central Tech side. Sue kind of steps up and fills the void with Raheem Sullivan. Now, never mind, Matthew Davis and DeAndre Reed, but
yeah.
Sullivan's a prolonged absence, and obviously Reed and Dave's hopeful that they're going to have them back at some point soon.
Kanku from range pushing the lead to 14. Stepping in. McKinnon stole it but gave it right back. Giles. into the corner. Nelson called for the block. Jaron Jones running away from the official that he wanted to say something to. Smart move.
One thing, I got to say this. This officiating crew, these three gentlemen right here, did a great job in that last game, even when, obviously, tempers flaring and the emotion and the intensity of that game, because it was obviously a pivotal game for both teams. CTA, obviously, every game for them trying to remain undefeated, but LBA giving them a solid run, and there were many instances where they all gathered together, kind of went over things and said, okay, listen to the coaches. We didn't have a single technical foul handed out.
Which was great.
Warnings, and it was just the flow. They did not disrupt or there was no, they did not impede the progress of the game. They did a good job of policing what was going on the floor.
Allowed the guys to play the game, allowed the emotion to permeate the game, but not get carried away. I was very impressed. It was late in the game. McKinnon, no good. Late in the game when that call on the sidelines, I think it was like a 6 or 7 point lead, 35 seconds, and it was like, well, that's either going to be a foul or a travel with the player on the ground, Ishmael from downtown. And either way, it was not going to be a popular call. And they got it right. I mean, I think it was Jokuch, sorry. Spun around, kind of looking for someone, and nobody had fouled them. It's like the whistle blew, you knew what it was going to be, and they stuck by it, even though the fans were ready to revolt. But you're right. I think anytime the officials come together and make sure to get the call right, it's all you can really ask for. It's the guys who don't want to hear it from anyone. I know what it is. Sometimes an extra set of eyes or just a little conversation can help. Ooh. There's your with the swat. And called for the foul? Or did they not call him? It was called someone else on the push?
Well, Jaron Jones, full steam ahead, and gets into the lane. I don't know couldn't tell if there was contact or how much, but certainly you saw the swat, the rejection by Yor, and we talked about it all week too. Guys going into traffic and getting bailed out by foul calls. And we haven't seen a lot of that. There's a situation. He went into a couple defenders, comes out, and fortunate to get a foul call.
That's a tough pass to throw. That's what Coach Robitaille just said. That was too weak. Needs to be a hard pass. "11-second difference, game clock, shot clock." There for the tip-in, Yor.
Good defensive rotation, Central Tech. The only difference, Victor Yor, big fella underneath, size, length, finishing.
Ishmael pulling up. Nelson with the board, launches. 37-24 Central Tech after 10 minutes. Stay with us, second quarter action, our final game of the day live on NorthPoleHoops.com.
History has been made in Canadian basketball.
From the Maritimes to the nation's capital.
I just like the sound.
Brady Cancun, my goodness.
To the 6.
Oh, big block there.
To the prairies.
By Jashawn Henry.
All the way to British Columbia. This is the NPA.
One hand jam! All over the defense. My Lord. Goodness gracious. Campbell with the facial. Oh! E-man. Defense to offense.
Cummins. That is
no
not
way.
the guy.
No way.
Cummins. What's the foul?
Got the answer. Wow. That's another good one. There it is. Sammy Hunter.
We're back live, old-fashioned plain. 9:47 to go here in the second quarter. Nothing wrong with the original.
I too, Jason, I am a fan as well.
Tarek Ahmad cashing it in. Nelson. Well short. Not getting over the front of that rim. Ahmad getting to the rim, can't finish. B.E.A.S.T prep in transition. Ooh, nice little hesitation dribble.
Oh, wow.
Nice little finish. Matt Green. Drew Ebanks on point, enjoying that. Little hezzy leading to the circus shot.
He's able to contort his body. Not just contort, it was full-fledged spin cycle, mid-air, body, arms flailing, and still somehow able to kiss it off the glass with some English, and nice finish from Matt Green.
Younger brother of Matthew Green Dixon. As well. Jones at the line, no one there to rebound because Kevin Jeffers had a little conversation he wanted to have, up 14, getting his defense back in set. I think he realizes that B.E.A.S.T is all about that transition ball right now. Don't have an awful lot they can get done in the half-court set outside of some one-on-one ball. And I guess, you know, really for first-year program, that's the hardest thing to get set up is, you know, running a proper offense with sets. I mean, that takes months.
Familiarity, chemistry.
Can't teach it.
No, it takes time to develop that. One other thing to point out, I mean, I almost got confused when you look at the scoreboard. Central Tech, even without three of their offensive juggernauts in Sullivan and Daves and Reed, still managed to put up better than 35 in the first quarter.
Yeah, really struggling at the offensive end with only 40 a minute and a half into the second. Kevin Jeffers probably wanted to talk to his boys, try to get things together. You got to score some points, guys.
He never stops coaching. He demands more.
Absolutely. B.E.A.S.T going super small right now. Not finding an awful lot of success defensively with that. Matt Green. Sorry, Dylan Nelson. Told you, these two just drive me nuts. Very similar builds. Timeout, B.E.A.S.T. 42-26, 7:47 left in the second quarter. We'll be back on NorthPoleHoops.com. Looking to beat the buzzer. Stick back jab, Jacoby Neath.
Hey! Let's go, man. Good pick, boy.
Transition, Shaheem Malcolm. Oh, someone checked that ball for a bruise. Back to live game action. Thomas Yoon. The ball go off the defender out of bounds. Caleb McKinnon now inbounding. Ahmad gets himself into the paint before kicking out to Yoon. Mid-range Jimmy, no good. B.E.A.S.T working it around the perimeter. Davis Trying to tip in his own miss. That's an over the back. Easy call.
Very easy call for the official. Jervon Davis, a little too aggressive. Following his shot and just getting over the top. An offensive foul. Easy call.
Now, B.E.A.S.T playing their second game of the day, so I'm going to give them a little bit of break, but not great body language on this team once they get down.
Picked up a win earlier today and led for most of that game. The Halifax Prep did make a run, and one guy who had himself quite the day was Brandon Muntu, but B.E.A.S.T, you want to see the test of character here.
Muntu, the kid from Calgary, playing in Halifax, but I think he's going to have a little affinity for Toronto after the show he put on here over this session. Nice find, Khalid Ishmael. No wasted energy there. Aggressive.
I mean, I don't even think the ball touched the ground more than, what, 2-3 times in that possession, and you see it.
Eugene Kanku did not agree with the call. Kevin Jeffers raises his hand, asking for a call, asking for a conversation. Anthony Bradshaw checks back in for B.E.A.S.T. Kevin Jeffers is just calm, cool, and collected over there. And I guess a 20-point lead, and without Raheem Sullivan and big game against CTA tomorrow, I think he's maybe just kind of conserving energy.
Just about to say it, I couldn't agree more.
Oh, he's not gonna like that. Missed the free throw, gets his own rebound, and then gets fouled again. Tyrese Todd, Toronto native at the line. B.E.A.S.T Prep out of Hamilton, Ontario. Have a couple of players on their squad with a football history, which is not surprising considering they're Hamilton natives. Yoon. B.E.A.S.T brings it down, looking to continue to chip away at this lead.
Just want to see some rhythm, some kind of flow offensively. At times they look a little erratic and just unsure of themselves.
One thing I am sure of, Dylan Nelson will shoot from anywhere. I think that's going to be the guy, two guys, Naz Roberts and Eugene Kanku, I think are two guys that are going to be the players that are looked to fill this Raheem Sullivan void. And nobody can, but just I'm talking purely point total wise. Oh, Yoon pulls it down. Transition. Having himself a game too is Khalid Ishmael.
It's a guy they're going to need to step up to. He can score in bunches. He can make an impact, and he's having himself a good game here.
And much like we've talked about throughout this session, a lot of these players, they can, having played with and practiced against some of these players, like a Raheem Sullivan, it's a lot easier for them to kind of mirror what they bring to the team. As Nelson comes up hobbling.
Looked like he might have turned an ankle, or you can see he's walking off gingerly.
Oh, a team that's already struggling offensively. They see Dylan Nelson go down for the rest of this one. It's going to be a long second half for B.E.A.S.T. Bradshaw hands it off. Figaro. Kick out. Ooh, Yoon, some good hands. It's a useless foul.
in the open floor.
Yeah. You know, they had numbers getting back.
Lazy foul. That's what you call that.
Yeah.
A lazy foul when you, to your point, you have your guys hustling back, and now here, look, you're going to bail yourself out. You're not. I mean, I mean, you're down by what is it, 32 now? The deficit, or excuse me, 22. I mean, can we see some man? Can we see something? Just change it up.
Daniele pleading.
Well,
coach coming out in him.
Hey, you're playing. You're sitting in a 2-3. You're down by 21. I know it's the first half, but you know, like, show some life and some fight. That's a coaching decision too. That's not the players. That's a move that, you know, you might be able to spark something.
Cancu pushing that lead up to 24. And the one thing for Beast is they're playing a team that ain't gonna let up on the defensive end. Like, Central Tech ain't dropping back into a 2-3 zone anytime soon.
That would go against everything Kevin Jeffers stands for.
Good. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go.
Bradshaw. Two on the shot clock. No good, big pull down. Cancu active on both ends. A lot of contact down low. Oh, Central Tech doing what they do. Khalid Ishmael, the Rocket, throwing it down. Oh, this is getting ugly quick.
That was a good play by Ishmael. He anticipated the pass. Here's another one.
Oh, here we go. The Blues in transition. Alley-oop slam, Eugene Cancu. Yes, sir.
Good basketball, very good basketball. A little different flavor on a couple of dunks. First you have the breakaway slam from Ishmael, and then Cancu getting up on the lob.
That's what I love about the Blues. You know, when they get out in the open floor, it's not, you know, it's not flash for the alley-oop, like you said, like just great outlet passing, you know, like ball doesn't touch the floor. There's no showboating. You know, it's like any excitement that they have is always directed at their own bench, kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's...
Play with a good swagger, a positive swagger, positive attitude.
A classy swagger? Is there such thing?
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's an element of classiness to their game, that's for sure. I'd agree with that.
Jeffers never stops coaching. Running off the screen. Davis, Bradshaw, rimming out. The Blues just trying to get out on the run consistently. It's interesting, some of the players we haven't seen today. Hamad's about to inbounds, like not a lot out of Baboye. I just wonder if this is strategic by Jeffers to make sure he has some fresh legs tomorrow.
You mention a guy like that, it's like even with, you know, Daves and Reed, and we assume Reed will be active, but we don't know what's going to happen with Daves. that hired gun approach. Put him in. Put me in, coach.
Exactly.
Let's go. Let's get a W.
I'm just taking a look over there. One guy that hasn't sat down really the entire, as he sits down right now, is the injured Raheem Sullivan. Always cheering on his squad. Nice dish. So pretty is the full speed bounce pass on target. Really is like, you know, poetry in motion.
Channeling the passing skills of his older brother, Jamal. That was a pretty pass in transition. On the money, as you said, on the move, and to make that pass, pinpoint accuracy. Nice delivery.
Oh, that's a screen in football right there. Pass interference.
Where's the flag?
Oh, also nice.
Nice give and go.
Yeah, nice little give and go. I know that head coach Greg Robitaille definitely liked the aggression that Mark Giles showed in that first game. Wanted to see more of it. Haven't heard from him much in this one. Strangway's offensive putback can't go. Do you hold for the final shot down 30 points?
Yeah.
No, you just take what you get.
Yeah.
Nothing like dribbling out the quad when you're down here.
You need every second you can get.
I know, exactly, right? And it's just, I was asking because, you know, there are some, it's just built into them, right? That no matter what, you know, you're going to hold for that final shot. I always find that questionable and interesting. Davis got them both, 8.4 on the clock. McKinnon. Yeah, you knew he's going to shoot that. Kevin Jeffers asking him to hit the rim. 28-point lead. Kevin Jeffers looks like he's down 28. Looking for an opportunity to teach his boys. And it'll be interesting to see how B.E.A.S.T comes out in this second half. Stay with us. We'll be back after a short break.
Well, Central Tech, it's the historic look, that castle feel. It's a gauntlet. You walk past and you just, whoa, you look up, and the reputation that comes with it, it has that feel, it has that effect. Being in downtown Toronto, it is what it is. You're gonna get everything, right? So all the distractions are gonna happen, all the excitement's gonna be there, any little thing happens in school, it's newsworthy because you're a downtown school, right? So we have to get past all those distractions and focus in and dial in what we're supposed to do inside this gym. Do we play with a chip? We make it so.
We're a grit and grind team. Like, we're like underdogs. So like, we play like, even though we're up 20, we play like we're down 20.
We try to break the neck of the other teams. Once we have our foot on the gas, like, we try not to let go. If you're a hard worker, if you have nothing to lose, if you're gonna put it all on the line every night, then you could come play on Central Tech.
I'm praying that they take on my personality. I gotta smile and I laugh and I joke outside of the game, but inside the game, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, and I'm fierce. And that's how we're developing right now.
Stop relying on what we did in the years past or the games past. It's now, yes?
And when we get to be that, you know, tenacious group, that loud group, that aggressive group, great things happen.
That style and structure is making Central Tech a destination basketball school for players like Matthew Daves, who joined the Blues for his senior season.
I knew the coaches and I knew how their style of training was. And I thought that I'd fit in here well. It just brings up like a certain tone to how I'm doing everything. So like every single rep is more important now. Being Filipino, you know, it's a bit different. Like, people look at me a different way when I'm playing. They're not gonna see someone like me, like an Asian person, play the way that I play usually.
How do you play?
I'm in the air a long time, just to say that.
In Season 2 of the National Preparatory Association, Jeffers will look to his returning seniors to lead the team on and off the court, which also prepares them for the next level.
Me being the oldest, like, it puts like a lot of like responsibility on my back, because coach, he tells me to always watch out for the guys, make sure everyone's good. Because after I leave here, coaches on other schools, like, they look at like the kind of person you are off the court before on the court. Like, they want to know what you could do in school. They want to know what you could do like in a group of people if you're going to be communicating. All my friends like back home, they really think I've changed a lot, like, and they said it's for the better too.
Coach Jeffrey is an amazing guy. He taught me a lot because he's been coaching me since young, been watching me play growing up, playing basketball at the community center. And like, he just, he just been there for me. It changed me a lot because before I wasn't really doing the stuff that I need to do to go to the next level. Since I came here, I started getting the support, the help that I needed to succeed, school-wise and basketball-wise. He prepares me to be a man.
The good will follow the good.
With the steal. Blowing past everybody, A.J. Lawson.
Let's go, bro.
In transition, throwing it down. Off the backboard, Jashawn Henry. Shaheem Malcolm letting everybody know the Riverhawks have taken flight. Right down the lane with the slam. Oh, Sammy Hunter. There's Daves.
That's a dive. That's a dive.
Showtime from the Filipino Wrecking Machine. And if you want to put together a Matthew Daves highlight reel, oh, look out, your boy, Elijah Fisher. Two-handed slam.
Two out of Calgary.
Ooh, no-look pass. Big-time finish. Cole Newkirk.
Oh, so if you turn it over like that,
it doesn't matter.
Number 21, Nas Robert.
Ewer definitely put things into perspective for him.
You want to talk about perspective.
My assist, give me that assist. Oh, come on. Bang out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I won.
Jashawn Henry is a man. Raheem Sullivan has the ball in his hand. 2 on the clock, gets into the lane. Floater game! Floater game! Floater game!
Raheem Sullivan wins the floater game! And this game is over!
Central Tech Blues without Raheem Sullivan due to an injury. Could have him out for a couple of weeks. Which is not a great timing for injury at any point, especially now with a matchup between what should be the 2 undefeated teams here at this session, Central Tech and CTA. That's to take place tomorrow afternoon. But if there's one thing we know about these Blues, doesn't matter who they're without, they're going to play hard.
I would expect that game tomorrow to be I thought with Raheem Sullivan and maybe a healthy roster, I thought for sure Central Tech would have given CTA a solid run for their money. I still feel like they're going to have some concoction, something.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to put something together against a team that's obviously the defending champs and undefeated at the moment.
Winning streak for CTA, that's up to, I believe, unofficially 18 games. After losing their first 5 games of the season last year.
Wow.
Yeah, won 7 straight to finish the regular season. 5 in the national championship tournament, so that's 12. 6-0 this year, 18. I believe that's the call right now. Heads up.
And if I may, right into your living room.
Yeah, what, second time today?
No, it was yesterday.
Dotto almost caught one to the beak earlier. Gave himself a round of applause.
You're absolutely correct. Yes, yes.
There's Adam Boyer back on the floor for the first time since the opening quarter. Man, he's very good at snaking through, making the most of his frame. Giles down low. There you go. A couple more of those are going to be needed from Matt Green. Quick timeout. Kevin Jeffers. It's down to 22. Stay with us. We'll be back.
NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country. Scouting Service is another platform for exposure with a network of over 300 coaches and scouts from some of the most recognizable brands and programs. Our scouts are constantly evaluating talent to ensure accuracy and credibility. NPH Scouting.
22-point lead had Kevin Jeffers wanting to talk to his team. Guess he didn't like the open three that resulted there. Strangway's there for the putback. It'll be interesting to see how they match up with the size and length of CTA tomorrow. The Central Tech team. So we have 3 games tomorrow. SJK RNS, which I'm looking forward to because RNS is quickly becoming one of my favorite teams to watch, but I know that they do have a bit of an illness running through that team right now. And SJK got smacked today. So they'll be looking to bounce back. So that's at 11 o'clock. And then we got Central Tech CTA, as I mentioned, finishing it up with LBA and GTA Prep. An intriguing matchup as I try to envision how those players match up on those teams.
Nice move by Naz Roberts along the baseline, finishing with the reverse.
And Adeboboye having his way. What do you envision with that LBA GTA Prep?
I think LBA, it's funny, we talked extensively about them yesterday, watching them. They live and die with that 3 ball, and they're going to space you out. And today, they had to maybe adopt a little bit of reverse psychology in terms of going big in order to combat the size length of CTA. And maybe it's a return to form. I think tomorrow, Okai Jamjus is a big game for him. he really struggled today. Denzel Cummins, up until the final couple minutes, you know, was virtually non-existent and then came alive. I expect them to be ready to go, and I didn't like the way it felt like just playing with 3 bigs. It was a little unorthodox for them, and they were kind of working their way through it and just trying to massage the situation as they went along, as opposed to being fully comfortable. So maybe going back to where I was praising them today about having the ability to go with 4 solid bigs, with, you know, John T. Verk, Kurt Jokic, I like to call him Jokic, the Joker. And then, of course, you have Nkumsa, the veteran of this group. And then also adding on to that, you bring in Michael Mattis into the fold this year. And so that's a nice, you know, quartet.
2 on, 2 off kind of thing.
Right? And that's what they've been doing. And then today, it changed a little bit based on the matchup. And so
it was interesting to see, you know, what they did with, you know, Vink and Nkumsa kind of coming up and setting. They were the screen setters, obviously. They got a lot of girth on them, letting Denzel kind of pick his way to go and play off of that. But yeah, it was different.
They were operating within that horns system most of the game. A lot of horns action, and you know, that's the one thing that does for you is it gives you a lot of flexibility to create and put the, you know, confidence. I mean, obviously, there's nobody else LBA would rather have with the basketball than Denzel Cummins. So you're getting into his hands early. You're letting him make all your decisions. But then that takes the ball out of the hands of guys like Okai, and then now you're kind of really flushing everything through one player. You know, and then their counter, if that, you know, the double screen doesn't work and the pop guy's not there and the roll's not there and that kick's not there, they're dumping it down to Nkumsa, and eventually, I mean, you know, the fatigue factor came into effect and he became a little ineffective in the second half.
It was an interesting game to watch and a great ending. You know, CTA also without their one of their top shooters, because they got a ton of great shooters. And Kaleem Sarazin, we got word, knee injury. His season could be done. Waiting for the results of an MRI. So that hurts for CTA, but they still were able to survive and stay undefeated.
They showed some cracks, there's no doubt about it. Different points in the game. The one thing that they have that nobody else in this league that I've seen up until, and DeAndre Reed getting set to check in, how about that? But one thing they do have is poise for days, for ages, I mean. And it starts with Tony House. He's out there on that sideline, and he's got his hands in his pocket, chewing gum. He's so calm, relaxed. But you can do that when your team, number one, is wildly talented. Number two, when your preparation is on point, and they are always ready to go.
Yeah, and it was funny too to see at the end of that game, because it was a wild minute and a half to end it. Tony House, the big exhale at the end.
He felt it. I'm sure at some point he was like, okay, this might be it. You never know. It's a little unsettling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he's seen that LBA squad work some magic.
See some French.
What's that?
One of their sets.
Oh.
It's called Allez, means go.
Dropping the knowledge. Whoa. Nice save by McKinnon. Cleaning it up. Central Tech getting that lead back up to 30. Up. Oh, that would have been special. What's DeAndre Reed doing in the game?
I bet it's conditioning. I bet he's in there simply for no other reason than to just get his feet wet, just to get comfortable, feel the court, feel the basketball. Because tomorrow, it's a big one and they're going to need him.
Bradshaw. Nice move to Davis. Davis has found himself the line a couple of different times. Leads back up to 32 with 2:09 left. Caitlin McKinnon having a little chat here at the sidelines. Have a lot of families out for this week as well. Attendance has been great. We got 3 tomorrow. Be great to see you out here. 30-point lead for Central Tech. 2:09 left here in the third. Stay with us. We'll be back. NorthPoleHoops.com.
And look at this. Danilo Jiricic ending his high school career with a dagger of a spike.
GTA Prep wisely feeding the hot hand. Oh, nice step back, cross through. And we got Sidney Kabongo on fire right now.
Oh! How about that nasty from Jashawn Henry?
Stick back, Joe. Chris Hagan.
Knock back.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet. Putting a man in the rim.
In transition with the cock back, one hand pounded. Woo! DeAndre Pierre all over the rim. Oh! Down the lane. Stephen Rawwire.
Everybody on their feet.
Because we work with love. Do it out of passion. Just like everybody on the floor here, B.E.A.S.T Prep. Doesn't matter what the score is, you're going to battle all the way to the end. Trying to put that positivity out into the universe.
York University was in the building earlier. They had assistant coach and one of their trainers, one of their performance trainers, and Benjamin Hale, a former pro hooper himself, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him over the course of the past couple of years. And he was here taking a look at some of these guys on the floor. Anthony Bradshaw, somebody had on his list, on their radar, so exciting stuff and good to catch up with him.
Ooh, Rainmaker 3. B.E.A.S.T Prep trying to find some positivity to take out of this one. We'd like to see some of the projects get into this game, like a Victor Yor, just to kind of get his feet wet. Although, you know, I'm looking over at that bench, and a guy like Victor Yor is like solely focused on the floor as well. I mean, I like looking at the body language, and this is a guy who is wanting to learn this game. He's having an opportunity over there to see what he can pick up. And he's seeing a Central Tech squad that is attacking the rack time and time again. Tariq Hamad has had himself a nice little evening.
It's a good move. Very good move. Decisive. Hamad, 5'10", the senior. He gets into the lane, able to draw the contact, and still, I'm always amazed at the ability for some of these guys to get in, especially these guys that are 6 feet and under, and they're getting into these dirty areas and able to still maintain their body control and finish with confidence.
I don't think Reed was ready for that one. There was not a lane available to him to do that. Ooh, but that is a nice move, DeAndre Reed. Reed pulls it down on the defensive end. He's got some fresh legs out there. McKinnon, ooh, a little lefty finish off glass.
I like him. I like his game a lot. And does it inside, outside. He's a guy who, you know, he provides a spark anytime he's on the floor.
Anthony Bradshaw, a guy that we've watched an awful lot. You know, that size, the footwork. I can see what a youth sports school would like. McKinnon cashing from downtown.
He plays at one speed, McKinnon. It's always, as the kids say, 110. Nothing less than that. He's going up and down, playing with pace, and you see there, you know, very intelligent, high IQ play there, because defensively you're sagging off. You're gonna give him a look. He hits that, and now, okay, here's a foul. But guess what? You're gonna walk away with the final shot of the quarter as well, and can never be upset about that.
Five seconds to go. Central Tech holding. 94-59, the Blues in control through 3 quarters. We got the final 10 minutes of our 5-game day coming at you right after the short break.
Rep by rep. You push yourself. Effort is only half the battle. Doubt sets in. Why do you do it? Is it worth it? The lights turn on. All your questions are answered.
Everyone has their story. What's yours?
94-59. Beast Prep at this point just trying to win the quarter. Central Tech looking to get ready for tomorrow. I'm guessing that's why DeAndre Reed's out there with the steal and spike. DeAndre Reed catching everyone by surprise, but as you say, Daniele, he only plays at one speed.
All you needed to do was look over at Kevin Jeffers. He had this snarl on his face, like he was semi-impressed and disgusted. All at the same time, which is fascinating.
Jeffers, Coach Jeffers, the man of many emotions. Picking pockets. Oh, nice little move there. Dylan Nelson has shown some flashes. McKinnon now. Pull up. Offensive rebound, McKinnon. Gets fouled by Yor. He's working out there as Caleb McKinnon.
It's a game like this that, you know, instills some confidence in me, at least, and with this Central Tech team. I'm buying in. I do believe in this group, and even without Raheem Sullivan. I was going to go as far as come on here and say, hey, who knows, tomorrow here comes the end of the streak. But I'm not going to go as far as that right now. But at that, you know, I do believe in this Central Tech team. I have a lot of confidence and faith in them.
Yeah, it's hard to not believe in a team that, you know, we've talked about a couple of different times, that even when they fall behind, like, you just have such belief in the fact that they're going to make it back. And they always do. Also undefeated on their NPA regular season schedule.
Tomorrow, 2 different coaching styles will be on display with Kevin Jeffers and Tony Housemore. He's got that Greg Popovich kind of aura to him. He's just, you know, having the opportunity, is sitting along the baseline and just paying attention, observing what was going on that sideline. They're receptive. They're listening. He's got his players right in the palm of his hand, and they understand. They're all on the same page. There's no resistance whatsoever. Kevin Jeffers, I mean, similarly, he's a guy who's garnered a lot of respect, and his team, although they have a swagger about them, they know when, you know, when it's time to play.
Kevin Jeffers with a smile and a laugh on those sidelines. I guess we've now realized what's needed to grab that out of them during a game, and it's a 40-point lead now at 42. B.E.A.S.T Prep again. Got to put in perspective, it's their second game of the day, stepping in to take a game with BC Christian being stranded on their opportunity to get out here for the session, and B.E.A.S.T Prep stepped up. They don't shy away from anyone, don't duck any game that they can get. So much respect to them and head coach Greg Robitaille. Timeout on the floor. Stay with us. We'll be back. 7:24 to go.
Chill. My name is AJ Lawson, and I'm mic'd up for Northwell Hoops. Let's get it. You know the deal. We do this. Get it, boy! Yo, juice me. Oh, yay. Let's need some juice. Oh, yeah. It's definitely gonna work today. Yup. Woo! Hey! Hey. Windy!
Alright, get you right out with me. Have some fun. Let's go out here, let's get some stuff.
Yes, sir. Good? Straight blood.
Oh! We're back. Mike Palamarchuk just checked in for B.E.A.S.T Prep, making the switch from high school to prep. Has this year and one more in his high school schedule, or high school career. He was a fan of the MPA before he got in here, and actually it was really interesting to talk to him. He's a fan of basketball, obviously, and just loves the game and really loves a lot of the other teams in the league. And I asked him, you know, who his favorite team to watch was, obviously outside of himself, and said RNS. Really loves watching RNS. He says they just don't make mistakes. They're well coached. Oh, that would have been an unbelievable finish. And there is Palamarchuk in transition, but before he can get to it, Adebaboye with the steal and alley-oop to DeAndre Reed, who's putting on a little show here. DeAndre Reed got some run in here. Finds himself back on the bench now.
Kevin Jeffers sharing a laugh with the official. Ball was deflected, goes off the official's back and out of bounds.
Strangways hands it off to Yoon. Kevin Adjuri getting his first run of the game. And there he is getting to the rim. And I always love to see the guys who get in rarely in the bench reaction to their baskets. All about team. Yoon running things for the Blues. Adebaboye crossing, busting ankles, but B.E.A.S.T coming through with the team block. Samuel Adiuson along with Victor Yor there. Shut it down.
Yeah, there's something poetic when it comes to ball handling wizardry. It's like you're just authoring your own little poem and snatching ankles. Adebaboye. And he earns himself a nice little trip to the foul line.
Adebaboye hasn't played a lot of minutes today either. Maybe Kevin Jeffers kind of cooked something up with one more game left in his session. Just reaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. Bradshaw out of the corner. Javon Davis gets it into the middle. Bradshaw tries to come up with it, but Adebaboye takes it away first. Strangways back to Adebaboye. Ooh, sure. Look at the bench reacts. Asking for a flex. Raheem Sullivan, loving it.
The only guy who didn't crack a smile and is stoic is Kevin Jeffers. It's like, yeah, I expected that.
Yeah, exactly. I've been grooming him for this moment. Love to see that. A team on a string, a team all cheering for themselves and each other. I think that's where B.E.A.S.T is trying to get to. But, I mean, it's tough. They've had a good session, but to end it off this way is going to leave a bad taste in their mouth. Yoon. Ooh, Bradshaw was trying to chase him down.
Careful, that sign costs a lot of money.
They are flexible. Much like the NPH crew, durable, hardworking. 4:15 to go. B.E.A.S.T trying to end this one positively. Palamarchuk, Bradshaw. Ooh, a little hop, skip, and a jump, and a nice dish.
Yeah, he did a good job. Comes to a full jump stop and delivers a nice little pocket bounce pass.
Big man has good feet and a nice touch.
He's going to go, if he goes to a post-secondary program that has a good developmental system, has some good coaching, and is able to get that one-on-one training in addition to being in that team environment. You know what, you might not play right away, it might take a few years, but he's already shown that, you know, he can be a guy that can be productive, I think, at the next level if it's in the right system, at the right school, with the appropriate training and coaching.
And it's always interesting for me to try to envision, you know, where these guys are going to go and, you know, who will see that in them, and then, like you said, put that time and energy into them. Yoon, kick out McKinnon. Trying to get it back to Yoon, but Palamarchuk got in there to break it up. Jury. Yoon taking Palamarchuk to the rim, but he sends it back in transition. Nice move, Tyrese Todd, finishing at the rim.
How about that?
Is there anything Caleb McKinnon can't do? Reaches down, replaces the volleyball cap on the ground. Oh, that would have been mixtape worthy right there.
I think what McKinnon just did was mixtape worthy.
That was beautiful. Back the other way. Basket and a bump. Going to the line is Thomas Yoon.
It's a nice pass. Real nice pass. Behind the back. Good awareness and timing. Almost lost his footing a little bit as he was finishing that play, and it looked like an awkward step into that pass, but on the mark. And
120-72, the Central Tech Blues getting warmed up for a big matchup tomorrow. We got 3 games on the sched. Make sure you come on down to Crestwood Preparatory College if you can make it. 3 games, $10 gets you in the door. Bradshaw coming down with an outlet pass. Can't convert. End-to-end action right now as we wind down the final minutes. Tariq Ahmad, another one of those players, getting extended minutes today and making the most of it.
Very nice finish. Again, Ahmad doing an excellent job of maintaining body control, and then a little English off the glass. It's the second time we've seen that out of him today.
Yeah, I've liked what I've seen. You know, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised from the Central Tech Blues. The guys who have had the extra minutes don't look out of place. I guess that's the best way to say it.
No, not at all. They come, and that's, I think that's also a testament to the coaching, because when you can prepare guys properly, I mean, you see a lot of guys, even when they do get an opportunity to come in games, to just look at a place. And this team, I mean, 1 through however many guys are on this roster, not a single guy looks like he's not prepared to play.
Yeah. Off the Strangways screen. McKinnon. Ooh, that would have been a heck of a finish. Back to the line. Tyrese Todd shooting 2.
When's the last time, Jason, and you've done this longer than I, of course, but when's the last time?
No, brand new at it.
In this league, we shall say, when's the last time you saw a team score a $120? Hasn't been done before.
Yes. GTA Prep in Ottawa.
Okay.
GTA Prep today?
No.
GTA Prep in Ottawa. GTA Prep can fill it up, man. And I know you know that. I'm just, GTA Prep is like, the drop-off to the bench is just non-existent. Those guys can score it. I believe because they were in danger of running out of spots. We were running out of spots of getting the score sheet down. You know what I mean? Like we're running out of spots to be able to put down the score, and I think we had to write it in at one point. I think that's how high they got, and I wonder if we're there now. There we are again. Thomas Yoon, you know, he's not getting too excited about this. He's keeping himself in check, but it's got to feel good for a guy like that who's going to see minutes tomorrow in, you know, one of the biggest games he's probably ever played against, you know, the national champs. So, I mean, he's going to go to sleep tonight feeling good about himself, and so he should, and so should all these Central Tech Blues as we enter the final minute. Back to the line. You know, B.E.A.S.T Prep keeps taking it to the rim. Tyrese Todd not going down without a fight. Hamad off the Strangways screen. Yoon, pull-up jumper, back rim and out. Again, want to thank Michael Palamarchuk. I'm not thanking you, but checking in from downtown. Actually, I will thank you. A wonderful interview earlier today telling me why he wanted to be a part of the NPA, and we want to thank everyone here with North Pole Hoops putting on this great session. All the volunteers behind the scenes who do not get the appreciation they deserve. Takes a lot of people to put this on, and we're through 3 of 4 days. We hope you come out tomorrow to join us at Crestwood Preparatory College as the Central Tech Blues remain undefeated, setting up a battle of the undefeateds tomorrow against Canada Top Flight Academy for Daniele Franceschi. This is Jason Tom signing off. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for everyone who supports the National Preparatory Association.